at a stalemate. Sometimes I make these videos because I know exactly what I'm going to talk about because I just think of it at the top of my head. I barely do any research. But in this particular video for top 10 best movies of the year, I struggled quite a bit. Of course, this is subjective. This is the top 10 best movies of 2023. Of course, I'm going to start here off with Evil Dead Rise, which came out back in April of this year. And this is a horror film which revitalizes the genre and also the franchise as a whole. Of course, many people weren't a fan of it because they thought it was either too short or you didn't have a typical cameo. And that is from the legendary Bruce Campbell who played Ash. But this film held up quite well. You got a mix of horror, suspense, typical comedy you would expect in this type of movie, and I thought it was engaging enough for me to enjoy it. Sometimes I get a bit lightheaded when I see the sight of blood, but I love those horror movies for some odd reason. At number 9, I have The Killer. And this is a movie which I think I could even put up even higher at number 7 or 6 or even 5. And like I said, it's tough to put it in those positions because there are many movies which I think is almost on par, on top of each other. The Killer had intense, gritty action sequences and also a dramatic and gripping plot. It's got a great amount of suspense and drama. If I went ahead and watched this movie and you lot didn't tell me it was David Fincher directing it, I would have assumed there's some up-and-coming director who is showing their grits at what they can do. But when you realize it is David Fincher, you realize he has not actually lost any of his techniques over the years. It's got impressive direction, impressive cinematography and lighting, and I think it's one of the best films Netflix have put out this year. At number 8, I have Talk to Me. Now, this is a movie directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. If you don't know them, they are legendary on the YouTube scene as Raka Raka. Thoroughly enjoyed their videos when I was growing up, going through college, and it kept me engaged every single week. But they came out with Talk to Me, which is a uniquely driven narrative movie with compelling horror themes and character dynamics, and I thought it was one of the most innovative horror movies of the year. At number 7, I have Across the Spider-Verse. Don't kill me, it could be much higher, but like I said, every film is on par with each other. This is a phenomenal animated feature film with each Spider-Man having their own unique animation style. Engaging storyline, great action set pieces in an animated form, and it made me want more, especially with a great cliffhanger for the next movie, which is going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse. At number 6, I have Anatomy of a Fall. Now, this is a great movie for intricate storytelling and deep dynamics within character development. Explores themes of redemption and resilience, and this made it a powerful and emotional experience when watching this film. At number 5, I have John Wick 4. This is the latest movie in the John Wick franchise. Of course, there is a spin-off movie called The Ballerina, which is coming out next year, and of course, there are plenty of more projects in the pipeline, and apparently there is a number 5 in the works, but I really hope they do not release it. The reason why? Because this film had the perfect ending to the story arc of John Wick. Signature action set pieces, high octane shootouts, and honestly, I was on the edge of my seat for every single action scene. I really wish that they just leave it as it is because this is a great send-off for one of the most prominent and unique characters in the last decade. At number 4, I have Ferrari. Now, Ferrari is just a film which I've seen recently, and I was panicking because I had to make sure I watched it and add it into my list because I wasn't going to watch it until January, but I thought, let me just watch it now and get it out the way. This is a biopic about the exhilarating Enzo Ferrari, played by Adam Driver. It has great amount of passion, action, drama, and some of the best character performances I have seen from Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz. This is a movie which I really wish that people would go and see because Michael Mann is no joke. This is a film which I recommend people to go watch as soon as possible on the big screen. At number 3, I have Godzilla Minus One. This is like the 37th or 38th installment in the Godzilla franchise, and this is probably one of the most grittiest version of Godzilla that we have seen. This is Godzilla on crack. With a budget of $15 million, you would think that this film would not hold up well. It is far beyond the truth. This film holds up so well to the other Godzilla movies which Legendary Pictures have released that I would not be mistaken if this movie was made with over $100 million budget. Great thrilling action and exploration of Godzilla's impact on humanity. It is a phenomenal film of Godzilla, and I think it's up there as one of the best Godzilla films of all time. At number 2, I have Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese. This is a gripping depiction of the series of murdering events that happened back in the Osage tribe in 1920s. It had a compelling narrative, phenomenal performances that should win some Oscars this year, and highlighting lesser known history of what happened with some of the Native Americans in earlier years. This is a movie which I am really glad that it went to cinemas as well as Apple TV Plus, because if it went straight to Apple TV Plus, I would not be happy enough to experience this cinematic masterpiece. And at number 1, it would have to be Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan has done it once again, grabbing a character that we would never care for and somehow create a compelling narrative and diving into complexities of the hardships, and that is J. Robert Oppenheimer. The narrative itself, weaves together different type of elements such as personal hardships, scientific dilemmas, and pivotal moments in history. This is a film which I'm guaranteeing that will win at least a few Oscars. And there we go, that's my top 10 list of movies that I've seen throughout 2023. Of course, like I said, it is subjective. Some people may agree with my list, some people may say it's a crap list, and I don't mind. At the end of the day, it's a list which everyone should be able to create as their own. You can follow me on Letterboxd. On Letterboxd, I've got my top 10 lists on there as well. I should have updated my Letterboxd, but I haven't. I've been watching films for the last 2 decades, and I've only watched like 1,500 films according to Letterboxd, so I need to thoroughly update that. So what do you think of the list? Do you think it justifies a top 10 ranking? Is there any film in that list that you would take out or put in yourself? Or do you have an entirely different list? Let me know in the comments.